What is going on, traders? Welcome back to the Traveling Trader. Great to see you guys. Obviously, the market is not doing so well this week, but if you've been following this channel, you know that from my last market update, I said that we were expecting a lot of volatility leading up to the elections, the fact that we're in a pandemic, etc. But because I've been getting a lot of questions about Tesla, in this video, I will cover what my expectations are for Tesla, when I think you should buy Tesla, what price do I think Tesla will drop to, and some news regarding a Tesla upgrade that we just got today. So let us get right into it. You can see that this is pretty much a story of the week for the market. Most things are red. You have a few green things. We did position ourselves nicely. We closed a lot of our option plays early for profit, took L's on a couple like Microsoft and Peloton, and had a really nice options play on Sony. And if you're part of the trading group, you know that we shorted Twitter yesterday for 100% profits. If you want access to all of our trades, link is in the description. So what is going on with Tesla? Well, let us take a look at Tesla's chart. If you watch my last video on Tesla regarding Tesla earnings, I was saying that there's no reason to buy Tesla leading up to earnings or on earnings day. There's no way that you're going to make a lot of money doing that unless something completely unexpected happens. But that is an anomaly, and we don't like to trade based off of anomalies. So I was saying that you don't want to buy Tesla because it is really in this middle ground. It hasn't proved anything, and it is forming this pattern, which is basically a decisive pattern, meaning the way that the stock breaks out of this pattern will determine in which direction it wants to go. So we have this pattern. This is called a pennant or a symmetrical triangle, depending on who you ask, whether this is a full pole or not. That's neither here nor there. It is a triangular shaped pattern, and you want to see on which side Tesla will break to. Well, we clearly broke to the downside. We are now under $400 on Tesla, and that is not a bad thing unless you buy at the high. And if you know anything about this channel, you know we definitely don't buy at the high. So now from the high, we are down 23%, which if you are a trader or investor, that should be music to your ears. Now there is this level here that I marked for Tesla. This is previous resistance, right? We've tried to break out of this all summer. We finally broke out of it leading up to the split, and we tested it as support, right? It used to be resistance, now it's support. This is called a support resistance flip. What would be ideal is if we get back to this level, because we can have a low risk entry. This is around $335 currently, right? This is a rather low risk entry because it is near support. It is heavily discounted. If Tesla gets to 335, that'll be a 33% discount from highs. And on any blue chip stock or any stock with huge potential growth, especially one that is solidified in an infant market like EVs and moreover autonomous driving, because every company will have an EV. It's really the autonomous driving technology that's going to separate Tesla from the rest of the pack, as well as the price points that they can offer their cars at. But anyway, you give me a 33% discount on a stock like that, I'm taking it. So what am I doing with Tesla? Well, let's pull up the moving averages real quick. And if you take a look at the 100-day moving average, which is this yellow line, it coincides with that support that I'm talking about. So this is around between 330 and 350. So I'm going to be setting a limit order on Tesla at $350. Now you could buy here, you could start scaling in here, especially if you're a long-term holder, right? You're not trying to find the bottom, but I will be scaling in a little bit here and then putting in a pretty large limit order at around $350. Again, my short-term bias has nothing to do with Tesla in particular, but it is directed towards the market as a whole, especially because we have a potentially contested election coming up. And contested elections are not good for the market because the markets don't like uncertainty. And we saw what happened in the year 2000 when we had a contested election between George W. Bush and Al Gore, which lasted 4 weeks, and the market tanked during those 4 weeks. The S&P dropped another 8%. The NASDAQ dropped 24%. Again, go back and watch that video. I think it's really helpful for those who want to gain some knowledge and information on what happens to the markets during a contested election. But that essentially is what I'm doing on Tesla, is buying a little bit here. We'll definitely set a larger limit order at around 350. Also, if we do get to 350, I will look into selling another cash covered put on Tesla at around 300. If we take a look at Tesla's options, we could kind of see at what price the option will be if we do get to 300, right? So I'll want to sell a put maybe January 2021 to get some value. Even if you look at the 300 puts now, you could sell them for $1,430. So if Tesla's price continues to drop and Tesla does get to 300, this option could actually double in value. We could get almost $3,000 most likely for this $300 option. So I will definitely be looking to employ that strategy as well. Again, if you want access to all of my alerts, link is in the description. You get access to my stock trades, options trades, etc. Now here's an article that just came out today on Tesla, and basically Tesla was upgraded to a strong buy, especially considering the attractive price point that it's at currently. It was upgraded by Cfra, and in this article they do talk about the possibility of Tesla being added to the S&P 500 index, which is something that I've been saying all along, that Tesla will be added to the S&P 500 before the end of the year, and we could see a massive price boost because of that. Not only because of the hype surrounding the addition to the S&P 500, right? It's like the elite stock club, but because it will now be included in a lot of institutional portfolios since it'll be a part of a majority of the ETFs that institutions trade. Also, if Biden does get the victory on Tuesday, and you know, this is not a political show, this is just a matter of fact. If Biden does get the victory on Tuesday, then Biden's administration will be seen as likely favorable towards EVs and green energy. So we could get a boost in all EVs and EV related stocks, especially if the election is conclusive and not contested. And the price target the CFRA gave to Tesla, and the new price target is $550, which represents 40% upside from here. This is based off of the earnings per share estimates going forward for the rest of 2020 as well as 2021 and 2022. Now, another thing you can do is buy a leap call, and I did a video on leap calls, which I will also add here. I did it, I think it was in the context of NEO, but a leap is just a fancy term for a call option that expires, or an option that expires in a year or longer. So you can actually, if you look at Tesla's options chain here, you can actually buy calls all the way up until January 2023. Now, the reason you would do this is because it's a lot cheaper than buying 100 shares, right? So if you bought right now, let's just say that you bought the 400 call on Tesla, this is going to cost you $151, or in this case, $15,100 per contract, which allows you to control or gives you the option to buy 100 shares at $400. Now, you might be thinking $15,100 is a lot of money, but it's actually a lot less than buying 100 shares, which would cost you $38,700 at Tesla's current price. So you're getting a more than half discount really to buy the option. All right, and while I'm here, let me just give you an update on where I think the market is going. If we take a look at the S&P 500, it is doing almost exactly what I thought it would do. If you, again, you can go back and check my last video, I'm not lying, that it would form this double top and then we would potentially be in correction territory. And I was saying that we could fall all the way to the 200 MA and we would still be in correction territory. So I'm fully expecting the S&P 500 to fall to this level, to at least the 200 MA, which would be around 3,100. And the reason I laid out in that video is because of the uncertainty with the election, the vaccine, the pandemic, the lack of stimulus, etc. But it's a short-term thing. I don't have a long-term bearish bias outlook on the S&P 500 or in the market in general. I do think these are short term. I do think we will have a vaccine, regardless of how workable it is. It will likely strike optimism in the market. I do think we'll have a vaccine candidate at least by December. So a move to the 200 moving average for me is not out of line, especially if we don't have a president for a few weeks. And think about this, say we do have a new president on Tuesday, right? They don't get inaugurated until January 20th. So in terms of stimulus, we could still be a long ways away. Anyway, I'm rambling now, but as I said in the last video, the way that you would protect yourself is to hold cash on the side during these times of volatility. And then if you're a more risky trader, obviously you could play things like puts, you can buy inverse ETFs, you can short stocks, etc. Anyway, that is it for this video. If you get anything out of this video, leave it a thumbs up. Also, in the comment section below, leave your play that you want me to go all in on. Like I do at the beginning of every month, I pick a random comment and I will go all in, whether it's a stock or options play. So leave it in the description below, not the description, leave it in the comment section below. Sign up if you want access to the trade alerts. Link is in the description below. If you want one-on-one training for options, you want to learn how to trade options, it's something that you've been wanting to do for a long time, and or you want to learn how to do technical analysis, I do one-on-ones. I only take a handful of people every month. If you want to sign up, hit me up or sign up. Link is in the description. We should have some openings by November 1st. Those openings do go by really fast. So if you do want to sign up on November 1st. Stay safe out there, traders. Peace.